I'm a licensed air conditioning and refrigeration technician in the state of Washington. I can fix or install about anything. I'm really proud of that. I worked really hard for 10 years to be a tech. It didn't come easy for me. But one Sunday in 1993, I was watching the Seahawks lose to the Kansas City Chiefs again. And my wife said, "Honey, there's water coming out of the closet." Now, the closet was the man cave bathroom where the water heater was. Now, I'm not a plumber, but when the water comes out the bottom instead of the top, it's at the end of its useful life. So I did what most guys do. I grabbed a pen and I wrote down the model and the serial number and the voltage and the gallons and the amps, and I went down to the store and I got a new one. You know, and the instructions were there, but real men don't read them. So I proceeded to install that heater in record time. And I'm telling you, fellas, the piping was beautiful. I wanted to take a picture. It was so lovely. My wife said, "When are we going to have a hot shower?" I said, "Good things take time, baby. After all, I am a journeyman." And she mumbled something as she went up the stairs. I wasn't quite sure what it was. I remember the half a peace sign, though. That one was like, yeah. And it wasn't year number one. So I thought, So I proceeded to install it, and I turned on the power, and I turned on the water, and I waited for the magic to happen. And about 10 minutes later, I hear this bang! Now, water heaters make lots of noises, but bang's not supposed to be one of them. I got that sinking feeling in my gut, you know the one. Dope! My wife said, "What was that?" I said, "Rats, honey, stay upstairs." CYA. So I disconnected everything. I ohmed out the immersion heater. You see, when you ohm out an immersion heater, it measures continuity. And since I'd fried the heater because the water level was down here and not up here where it was supposed to be because I hadn't followed the instructions, it just blew up when I got power. So I disconnected everything, went back to the store, put it back in the box, raced back to the store, got there just before they closed, did what every red-blooded American male does in a situation like that. I lied. I said, "Hey, man, you sold me a defective heater," and the guy looked like Curly from City Slickers, you know? Jack Palance. Jack Palance was this guy. Yeah. He said, "Let me ask you just one question, young fella." "Just one?" I said, "Sure." He said, "Did you happen to turn on the power before you filled a tank full of water?" Maybe. All of a sudden, I'm 5 years old, right? He said, "Well, I know this sounds a little like Ronald Reagan, but Reagan was the president in the 80s. He said, "Here are the instructions. I want you to promise me you'll go home and read them all the way through before you install the next one." I said, "Deal," and I shook his hand. And true to my word, I got home, I got to page 3, it said, "Warning, under no condition to turn on the power before the tank's full of water." I thought, I missed that. Now it's 1:30 in the morning. My wife's giving up any hope of a hot shower. I mean, she said something about the horse I rode in on. I don't remember the details, a little sketchy. I got to page 62 and it said, "Now remove the tag and wire up the unit." I had to remove the same tag on the first one. It was a giant red tag and it said, "Warning, under no condition to turn on the power before the tank's full of water." I was like, Now it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I turn on the power. I have 6.8 amps. It's perfect. I grabbed a felt marker and I wrote on the side of the tank, "When all else fails, follow the instructions." November 19th, 1993.